Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. Michigan State. They started the season out 4-5. Since then, they have gotten hot. They have been one of the best offensive teams in college basketball over the course of the last 5 games, where they've blown out Baylor, they've blown out Oakland, they've blown out Stony Brook. They had a close win that ended up being a 12-point margin against Indiana State. And tonight, Matt McCall, they blew out Penn State in the Breslin Center. Are you all in? Are the Spartans back?
I was never off. And you guys kept trying to give me hit the panic button, hit the panic button. We got to hit the panic button. The Spartans, Coach Izzo, man, they're just not the right team. With 5 teams, they've lost some games early. You got to hit the panic button. I never hit the panic button. Okay, you, Henson, a lot of other people were trying to hit that panic button. You don't hit the panic button when Tom Izzo is your head coach. He's done this before. His teams always seem to grow, get better. It doesn't matter where they're picked to start the season off. They could drop some games, and they could end up in the Final Four. I never was off the ship in terms of Michigan State. I think they're a really good team. Their coach is a Hall of Fame coach, has won 1,000,000 games. It's one of the best to ever do it in all of college basketball. Tyson Walker continues to play at a high level, and we knew how good he was, and he's played at a high level all year. It was, who else is going to step up? Who's going to help him? Who's going to rise to the occasion to give them another punch? And now they're getting that. They're getting more balance on offense. I think some of their struggles early on in the season was their execution on offense. I mean, I've said it on the show before. Coach Izzo's teams, even especially after timeouts, side out of bounds, underneath out of bounds, they've been so good in those types of situations. They were struggling early on in the year. I don't think they were playing with a good enough pace either. And Tyson Walker was still doing his deal. Now they're back to that. And look, I never hit that panic button, Rob. Never. Not once. I'm still all in on the Sparties.
I never hit the panic button, but, I wasn't necessarily the biggest believer right before they played Baylor. I mean, I kept saying, and we kept talking about it, Rob, that like, hey, they're going to come around, and they just didn't. I didn't feel like they had any type of interior threat, into any type of interior scoring. Their rebounding margin wasn't the one that you'd normally see out of a Spartan team. And, I know that they have won some home games in a row. I'm not maybe willing to go as far as McCall. But, again, Tom Izzo, his teams always get better. That's the one thing that always sticks out to me about Michigan State is his teams continue to get better. It didn't look like it through November and December, but here over the last week or two, the beatdown of Baylor, obviously a beatdown tonight. Penn State's nowhere near the type of team that Baylor is, but at the same time, I think Indiana State's a really good team. And although it was close the majority of the game, I think that's more credit to Indiana State than it is to Michigan State's early season woes. I think they're back. I don't know if they're top 3 in the Big Ten. I'm not sure I'd go that far, but I wouldn't put it past them at the same time.
Yeah, and I'll just jump in, Rob, real quick too. Like to back up Coach's point, when they lost to Wisconsin at home, and that was the first league game of the season, and they got beat by 13. And I think Wisconsin, I still think they're a really good team. You read the notes, you read the game notes, what they're doing. I mean, they had guys that were sick. Were they even going to play? Malik Hall, who's in the lineup, who's out of the lineup? Are they healthy? Are they full? And like Coach just said, that Coach Izzo's teams just always find a way to get better. And I think they're past some of those injuries. They're obviously past the whole team having the flu, and they've hit their stride. And Penn State has obviously had their struggles, but like Coach said, the beatdown of Baylor, that was kind of like, okay, now they're getting healthy again, and they're finding their way.
Is it too simplistic to simply say that they are actually making the open shots that they were getting through the first month of the season? If you look at this 5-game winning streak, I did the math. The math might be wrong. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm a math savant. But according to my calculations, they're 45 for 102 in the 5 games on this winning streak that they're on. And if Google has not lied to me, that is a 44.1% three-point shooting clip over the course of the last 5 games, where they've scored 89, 79, 99, 87, and 92 points, right? Before that, they kind of famously started the season 2 for 31 from beyond the arc. There was a point in time when they were shooting about 22% from 3. Mac, is that too simple to say? Like the shots are just going down? Is it just like a team confidence thing? They saw a couple go in, you go 8 for 12 against Baylor, you run a top 5 team out of the gym in Detroit, and now all of a sudden the confidence is flowing?
I mean, it helps obviously, but at the same time, I also think what type of quality shots are you getting? And I think that, when you get better shots for your team, for the players on your team, regardless of the result, I know everybody wants to look at the result. You talked about, plus 40%, but when you get better shots for your team, generally teams defensively are in rotation. Teams are flying out to challenge you late, albeit it gives you an opportunity to be a better offensive rebounding glass. Everything offensively to me ties into, the type of shots that you're producing. How well are you getting those? How open are you getting your shooters? And, even if you miss those shots, Rob, you get an opportunity to rebound them. So, I don't get married or tied to so much the percentage, although we always want to coach a team that makes their shots. I get married to the fact that, you're getting better shots. And now you have an opportunity, as Michigan State always does, to offensive rebound at a really high level. And so I feel like they're moving the ball a little bit better. Again, Tom Izzo's teams are predicated on execution. They run 1,000 set plays. Any coach that's ever gone against him will tell you that. And, they're executing better. They're getting better looks. And now they're getting to the offensive boards as well. It all goes hand in hand, in my opinion.
Yeah. McCall?
Yeah, and I think playing with better pace too, to Coach's point, what were the shots that they were generating early on in the season? I think when you saw them play some, every coach, it's amazing when you watch a coach's press conference when he gets a job. It's like, I want to play fast. I want to play fast. I never really liked that. I think playing with pace is a better term to say, because when you start saying playing fast, it becomes chaotic. But when you talk about playing with pace, it's not only where's the shot clock at when we're initiating our first pick and roll or initiating our set or whatever we're doing, when the ball's across half court, where's the shot clock at, right? Is it at 22 or is it at 28? That means we're playing with good pace. How hard are we cutting? How hard are we screening? Those types of things. And I think they're playing with much better pace at this point in the year. And I think that's another reason that they're shooting a higher percentage from the 3-point line. But to Coach's point as well, I mean, look, as a coach, you're never going to complain when the ball's going in from behind the 3-point line, because that definitely helps. The greatest equalizer in all of college basketball.
Yeah, 2 for 31 is not going to cut it. 44% from beyond the arc, and you're getting yourself a nice fat extension. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.